Before you call them friend, gotta prove them first. Is there really loyalty when you're at your worst? We need to hit her all like the wire. You're looking for some truth, I'll supply it. If you want it too soft, this ain't them. You gon' choose a law over sin. It's just some uncut gems. It's just some uncut gems.
We was diamonds in the dirt, just grinding in the turf. Our mom would go berserk, trying to keep from riding in the hearse. Now we lions in the work, sons of Zion, we the church. Different color fringes is looking vibrant on my shirt until I'm lying in the dirt. I pray to be a fire hydrant with this word, like a geyser on a curb.
Alright, well, first things first, I want to say, Call Allah, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, and that's all praise to the Heavenly Father in the name of His only begotten Son, who the word eagerly calls Jesus Christ, and we are the school of Sicarii, and we are coming out to tell the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that they need to get their act together and keep these laws, statutes, commandments. Give me Isaiah 58:1. Because most of our people hate to be reproved. They hate to be told that they need to get right. Our people love darkness rather than light.
Come on. Book of Isaiah, chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not.
We said do what?
Cry aloud, spare not.
Brother with the white hat on. Can I speak to you for a couple of minutes? You ain't got no time for the work. You gonna come back? Okay, brother. All right, brother. Read that.
Come on, Isaiah 58 from the top. Cry aloud, spare not.
Spare what?
Spare not.
We're not sparing nobody's feelings out here. We coming out here to say, thus said the Lord. Period, point blank. We don't care about nobody's feelings and how you feel.
Come on. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Do what?
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Most brothers I see on the internet, they get mad talking about, why y'all always yelling at people? Because the Lord told me to lift up my voice like a trumpet. He told me to talk to you like a man.
And shew my people their transgression.
We're going to show them what?
Show my people their transgression.
We're supposed to tell y'all when y'all are going off. We're supposed to tell y'all how to get right. These are the things that we're supposed to do as men in the nation of Israel. We're supposed to correct our people and lead our people down the right path. You got a precept?
Yeah, I got two.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 6. I'm going to start from verse 4. It says, O Ephraim, what shall I do unto thee? O Judah, what shall I do unto thee? For your goodness is as a morning cloud, and as the early dew, it goeth away. Verse 5, therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth.
He did what?
Slain them by the words of my mouth.
And that's what we are to the most. Sister, since you got time to hear the words of the Lord, you ain't got no time to hear the words of the Lord. Hey, somebody give me Jeremiah words that say, their ears are uncircumcised to hear the word of the Lord. I can't remember. I think it's Jeremiah 6 and 10. I think it's Jeremiah 6 and 10. Because sister just came out and said she don't want to hear nothing the Lord got to say out here, huh? Go. He got it.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verse 10. Make the heart of this people fat.
Do what?
Make the heart of this people fat. And make their ears heavy. And shut their eyes. Lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without men, and the land be utterly desolate.
So that's the problem. The people cannot see what's going on. Neither they want to hear the word of the Lord. That's why the Lord had to make us desolate. That's why the Lord had to put us down at the bottom, because we hard-headed. We don't listen. Give me Deuteronomy 9. We've been rebellious since the day I known you. What you had any precepts?
I said I had some Hosea.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So Hosea chapter 6 verse 5. Therefore have I hewed them down by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth. And thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. Verse 6 says, for I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings.
I'll break that down. What you mean? You said what? What is read that again?
Go on, which one you want to read?
The last part.
It says, for I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings.
So the Lord doesn't care about those burnt offerings. He just really wants you to get yourself together. That's what he really wants you to do. He just rather you just listen than to take the whole forest of animals and burn them because you can't get right. He just wants you to listen to what he has to tell you. But our people don't want to hear none of that. Give me Proverbs 1. And this is This is what's going to happen in the end. In Proverbs 1 where it says, wisdom crieth out. I think it's at... Where is that at? Nah, it's up high. Right here, 20. Start at 20.
This is the book of Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20. Wisdom cried without. She uttered her voice in the streets.
And that's what we doing. We out here to cry out loud and give y'all this wisdom of the Lord. To give y'all the understanding of why we are what we are. But all our people want to do is just party and turn up and not take heed to the words of the Lord.
Come on, verse 21. She cried in the chief place of concourse. In the openings of the gates.
And that's what we doing. We out in the chief place of concourse. We out where the people at, right?
In the city she uttered her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones?
How long what?
How long, ye simple ones?
How long do y'all want to be simple and keep staying where y'all are? How long do y'all want to be in the bottom, stuck in the hood? You know what I'm saying? In the traps. How long do our people want to be in this position that we are in now?
How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning. And fools hate knowledge.
And what?
And fools hate knowledge.
And that's the problem. Our people act foolish because they hate knowledge. I just asked the sister, "Did you got time for the words of the Lord?" And she shook her head at me and said no. But I bet you if she's on her deathbed, the first person she's going to call upon is the Lord. But I'm telling you right now, he's not listening to it.
Right. Verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make you known my words unto you.
Jump down to where it says, I will laugh at your calamity. Verse 26.
Verse 26. I also will laugh at your calamity.
You'll do what?
I also will laugh at your calamity.
Because that's what's going to happen. When you're at your end and all hell is breaking loose and you're on your deathbed or you about to die, the first person you're going to do is try to call upon the Lord. But he's just going to laugh at you. It's going to be a joke then, just like how it was a joke earlier.
God, I will mock when your fear cometh.
He does what?
I will mock when your fear cometh.
That's right. Keep reading.
When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you.
And that's what's going to happen. In these end times, that's what's going to happen. When all hell is breaking loose, y'all ain't going to know who to call upon because the God of the earth and the universe isn't going to be listening. Because y'all don't listen to him. It's the same way, vice versa. What you have? Go ahead.
Book of Sirach, chapter 6, I'm going to start with verse 18. It says, my son, gather instruction from thy youth up.
Do what?
Gather instruction from thy youth up.
So when you are a young man, you're supposed to gather these instructions and learn so you can grow up to be a leader or a mother. You know what I'm saying?
It says, so shalt thou find wisdom till thine old age. Come unto her as one that ploweth and soweth, and wait for her good fruits. For thou shalt not toil much in laboring about her, but shall eat of her fruits right soon.
So you gotta put in that work. You gotta put in that work to understand this wisdom. But it just said you ain't gonna have to put it in long to reap the fruits of the benefits of wisdom. You gotta understand that. Our people think it take too long to gather this wisdom and to get out of this place. But the problem is we're not waiting on the Lord. The Lord is waiting on us for us to get right. What's going on, sisters? Y'all got questions?
No.
Yeah. Do y'all believe in the Bible?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the actual true children of God? The so-called Israelites? Have you ever been told that before?
I have not.
You have never heard that before?
No.
Okay. So if I was to ask you, give me go ahead and give me Isaiah. You said, give me Isaiah 42. So if I was to ask you, why are people in the position that we're in? Because we look at, are we the top of the world or are we at the bottom? As blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, where are we located?
I would say that in regards to society, we're at the bottom.
At the bottom. As a nation, we are at the bottom. Do you ever ask yourself, why is that?
Sometimes,
Let me do it on 28:46. Sometimes, yes, right. Well, I'm going to show you, sister, why we are in the position that we're in.
Okay.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22.
Matter of fact, let's go ahead and give me 28:15.
28:15?
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and get into it.
This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments, and these statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So when we read in the book of Deuteronomy 28, it's terms and conditions to this covenant that the Israelites have been into. You know that you understand that the book of Deuteronomy was written to the Israelites, right?
Yeah.
So it just said if they don't listen to the Most High God, that these curses shall overtake you, right? Let me verse 46.
Verse 46 of the same chapter. It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
For what?
For a sign and for a wonder.
So these curses are going to be upon these people for a sign and for a wonder. Just like you said, you do wonder sometimes, why are we in the position that we're in, right? Well, let's get it.
And it says, and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart.
Because our people didn't want to serve the Most High with gladness of heart and with joyfulness.
For the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So that's the reason why we are where we are. That's why we're serving our enemies right now in the place that we're in. Because our people aren't from here, are they? We're not from America, are we? We got took in here, right? Okay, keep reading.
It says, send them against thee in hunger.
In hunger.
And in thirst.
And in thirst.
And in nakedness. And in want of all things.
So, sis, you got to understand, we don't own nothing here in America. Like, do we own the text mills that make that shirt, the cotton and stuff like that, the silk and all that? We don't own none of it. We have to go to the people that have oppressed us to buy these materials. If we're thirsty, you can't just go outside and harvest rainwater and purify it so you can drink it. That's against the laws of America, because we don't own anything here. We are in the land of our enemies, and we are serving them because we've been against the Most High God.
It says, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee.
Who are the people that we know that had the yoke of iron upon our neck in the past? When we look at history, who was the people?
We know.
It was us. And these curses are come upon us because we not listen to the Most High God. Because if we had to listen, go give me one. Give me Deuteronomy 28:1. If we had to listen, this is what would happen.
Deuteronomy 28:1. It says, and it shall come to pass, if thou hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So if we was to listen to the Most High, we was going to be above all nations of the earth, because we are a special people to the Most High. Give me and give me Leviticus, where it says he separated us and made us holy unto him.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So we're supposed to be above all people that's supposed on the face of the earth. We're not supposed to be at the bottom, sister. You are a princess, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's supposed to be, your feet are not supposed to be touching the ground. You should be carried everywhere you're supposed to be going. But the problem that the reason why we are where we are is because we don't listen to the Most High God. We don't take heed to these commandments. You said, oh, what's your ethnicity, by the way?
I'm black.
Okay. What's your father?
What do you mean, what's my father?
What is your father? Is your father black?
My father is black. My mother is black.
Okay, so more than likely, sis, you will be an Israelite. So you need to repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. This is the only way we're going to get out of this captivity that we're in now. This is how we get back to the top. We have to start listening to the Most High God and start listening to these law, statutes, commandments, and keep the faith in the man they call Christ. Not this guy right here. That's not what Christ looks like. Okay. Have you ever heard what Christ looks like? Have you ever heard the description?
Yes.
He has woolly
hair like wool.
Okay.
Yes,
so we understand that he came for us, right?
Right.
He came for us so we could get out of this captivity and get out of this in this low place that we're in. But until we get right, we're gonna continue to be here, sister.
Can I ask you a question? Okay. So, and I love to hear, what God has for us, and I believe it too as a believer. But we have a place that is beyond the physical, correct?
Oh, what you mean?
Right?
Explain what you mean.
So, what you mean as us being on top, what does that look like?
Okay, give me Revelation 2. Give me Revelation 2, And go ahead and give me Isaiah 2. And you know, you already know where it says we go.
I got it, boy.
Where you going?
Okay, go ahead and give me this one first. Let me get this one. This is because this is you. Yeah. So this is what you're asking. We're supposed to have a higher place that we're supposed to be in, right?
Right.
Okay.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2 and verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of all the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it.
So basically what that's going into is in the end times, when we are back at the high place that we was talking about, right? Us being back at the top, all the nations are going to flow to the house of the Lord to worship the Most High. But the way they're going to learn how to worship the Most High is going to be essentially through us, right?
Through us as
the Israelites,
yeah. Us as the Gentiles.
As the Israelites.
Yeah, okay.
Keep reading.
Verse 3. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob.
Because he's the God of Jacob. Okay. It's not the God of everybody, he's the God of Jacob. The God of the Israelites, right?
What do you mean by not the God of everybody?
He's the God of everybody, as in like he rules over everybody, but his chosen people that he's in the midst in and who he cares about are the so-called Israelites.
Okay.
So that's why he uses us as the mechanism in the end time is going to use us to teach these other nations.
To teach the other nations?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was trying to... Yeah, that's why I said keep reading Isaiah 2. He's going to break it all the way down.
It says the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion,
out of the Israelites, out of Zion,
shall go forth the law.
Shall go forth what?
The law.
So the Israelites, we're going to be teaching the law to them, right? But there's order to prophecy that has to happen first before that happens. But finish it out.
And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
So they're gonna learn from us. That's what's gonna happen. But it's not as you think. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be all sunshines and rainbows for them. It's gonna be some servitude. That's what I'm gonna break it down to you. Revelations 2.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end.
Okay, so all the things that Christ told us to do, if we keep those works until the end, this is what is going to be our reward.
To him will I give power over the nations.
You'll do what?
Give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
So that's what is going to happen essentially, is we're going to get rulership over these nations.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So what scripture was that? Isaiah?
That was Revelation chapter 2. The other one you was talking about that was Isaiah chapter 2.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Can you read it again real quick?
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
Okay.
How you feel about that?
I feel fine.
You don't
but what I will say is that I think that you're absolutely right. But it's Christ that will rule.
We're going to be ruling with Christ.
Yes,
yeah, you're right.
Yes, ruling with Christ, but it's his word that is reigning. Does that make sense? So when it's talking about the clay and all of that stuff, you can also go in Revelations and it says that out of his mouth he has a rod for the nations. So
yeah, because he's going to come in and what's going to happen is he's got a rod for the nations, because when he come through, he's going to be doing a lot of raining. It's going to be a lot of executing judgment out here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People are going to get killed. The nations are going to get judged by him because of the unrighteousness they did to us.
And yes.
So it's going to be a physical rulership with us as the Israelites. Because who's the 144,000?
The Israelites. The
ruling class of the Israelites.
Yes.
They're going to be ruling with who y'all call Jesus Christ. We call him Yahweh Shah Mashiach. That's just the Hebrew, right? Okay. We're going to be ruling with him. So we're gonna have, some brothers are gonna have certain kingdoms, you know what I'm saying, ruling over a certain nation of people. It's gonna be like that. So yes, you, in a sense, it is Christ's kingdom, but we're gonna have that. We're fellow heirs with him.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?